I'm Jasmine, and today is a special interview. We're here sitting down with people who are making changes in the community, and right now I'm sitting with Ashari James, who is the creator of the Mentor Your Mind Youth Foundation. So how you feeling today?
I'm feeling wonderful.
You look spiffy.
Oh, thank you. I have to do a little dab
All right. No, but thank you for sitting down with me. He's also a VSU graduate, just like me. So how has majoring in business helped you to form the foundation?
Well, majoring in business has helped me, taught me about the business aspect, how to start a business. It taught me, how to network with people, especially at VSU. I think it was more of not even only the education at the school, but more of learning the culture. So learning what you have to do in business to get into business. I studied business management, which was very broad. So when I got out of school, I didn't know specifically what I wanted to do because everybody can just do business. Like, okay, but what is it that you really want to do?
Right.
And so when I started to realize what my passion was in regards to speaking engagements and going out to schools, I said, you know what? I need to follow my passion because I was tied between real estate and the nonprofit work. Mm-hmm. But then I was like, I gotta follow my passion because the passion is going to bring the money, it's going to bring everything else. Yep. But if I follow that, then I'm staying true to myself. So I think going back to your question in regards to business, it helped me develop the mindset of how to go from step 1 to step 2, step 3 to step 4. Just starting with a basic idea. Right. Creating the idea, getting people to buy into the idea, selling your product, selling myself. Like these small aspects that I've learned through VSU.
So tell us about the Mentor Your Mind Youth Foundation and what it's about and how did you get started?
So Mentor Your Mind is the youth development organization. It's also revolved around mentoring as well. What we do right now, we go to a lot of middle schools, high schools, youth organizations, and we do 10-month workshop series. Within those workshop series, we do self-worth, self-management, self-awareness, self-motivation, purpose, passion, personality, success, and vision and determination, and the overall aspect of success. So we teach those kids and those students those aspects and the importance of it. In addition to that, we also go around and do speaking engagements. Mm-hmm.
So what you mentioned, are those the core values? Because I did my research and I see I have like core values. So how do you try to implement that into the projects that you do for the foundation?
So for most of the projects that we do, what I would say is that self-worth is what we try to push the most. Because I believe if you don't know who you are, then the world will never know who you are. And I believe if you don't value yourself, then nobody else can value. So in every project that we try to do, we try to be selfless so that we can be selfish with our values to give to the world. You get what I'm saying? Right. So that's how we try to incorporate the aspect of knowing our self-worth, knowing who we are, knowing and trying to get other young people and people who's involved in our projects to get a glimpse of who they are, but just asking the question. I believe if you continue to ask yourself the question, who am I each and every day, then you'll start to take time to realize and not be what you want to say, not be wrapped around what the world is offering, but then find out who you are and be wrapped around who you are. So that's what we try to push mostly, mainly in each of our projects is self-worth.
Okay, so I know the age range for the students that you reach out to is from 11 to 21. So as far as, young kids, how do y'all get that message out to them? Because, they probably don't really understand, like, self-worth, follow your passion. So how do you try to reach that out to them?
Well, we try to be fun.
Yes, you have to. It has to be entertaining because that's what kids. You can't be boring sitting down
You can't. And so we definitely try to incorporate like a lot of activities. With the younger group, especially when we do our workshops, we actually have different activities where we're keeping them moving. I had one experience where it was a talking session, and all of the kids were just like.
It was but just imagine like when we were younger in class. We was probably dozing off, like too much talking. It's just like, all right, the attention span is short.
The attention span is very short, especially for like the middle school age. And so I had to learn through my experiences that you have to do activities. You got to keep them busy, but you got to keep it simple as well too. So I'm not going there. I'm not speaking big terminology. I'm speaking simple. Keep it plain, but then just making it fun being relatable, looking like them. Sometimes I don't come in suit and booted when I go to middle schools, but you know, I throw on my J's, throw on, you know, some shoes and just look like them, and then they say, oh, well, if he's one of us, he can do it, then I can do it.
Yeah.
Let me at least give him my extra 5 seconds.
Right.
And so that's what we try to do. We just try to incorporate a lot of activities within our messages.
So, you know, people feel like, I guess like our generation, like the younger folks, like they're kind of like, they don't have any mentors, or like they're like reckless. So when you go out here and you speak to teenagers like 18 and up, how do you see different? Like when y'all speak about goals and passion?
That's a very good question. I kind of, for them, like if we're talking about like an individual basis, I kind of let them direct the conversation, because what the problem is that a lot of them are not being heard. So if I'm not able to listen to them, then I'm never going to capture them. If I go to them and I'm just talking blah 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 because this is what I believe you should do,
right,
and not really finding out your own core values through just being able to discern and being able to understand how you're feeling, what you're feeling, why you think this way, what is it that you're experiencing that make you make this decision. Then we can start to unravel and move the barriers that you're facing out of the way once we get down to that core element. So it's more so of listening to those individuals, younger generation, whether if it's women or female, because a lot of them really feel like they're not being heard. I go home, my parents not listening to me. I go home, my older brother not listening to me. I go home and I try to talk to my teacher or whatever the case may be, nobody's listening to me. The only outlet I have is social media, and I'm gonna be reckless because I'm frustrated at that point.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when somebody say, talk to me about you, and you just be silent, let them talk, and then you state your opinion by asking, is it okay if I make my suggestions? And they have to say. If they say yes, then you know you capture them, because now they have to listen in the ear.
Oh, that's nice. So what are some barriers that you've heard them say that they're trying to overcome, and how will your program help them overcome these obstacles?
Okay, so one, I have an experience when I went to school in Brooklyn. It's so funny. It wasn't too long ago, and I was like really tired, really tired. And I went there, it was like Martin Luther King Day or something. And this kid was just like, well, how do you know, how am I gonna find out my worth if, my environment is, society is showing me that I'm supposed to be, and I'm just like, okay. And we kept going back and forth. But this is just one experience. But this is what most of these students and kids they're going through.
Yeah.
Because their environment is like shaping the way they view the world.
Right.
And so what my program can do is to show them a different outlook. Like that's our mission, is to get to students where they are in their perspective by showing them different perspectives. So we have to create an environment where they can, one, feel safe, and then be able to take them out of their environment to show them different possibilities. You know what I mean? Being able to, even if it's something so simple like getting out of New York, you know, because we're thinking about doing events where we do in the summertime, where we take students to different states and to different countries. Just to see other things, but something so small like that to get students to think differently. Like, oh, there is much more than just the corner, or just more than just the block, or much more than those people that I see that's not really doing anything. And so that's what our program is willing to do. But the first aspect, as I mentioned before, is really about the self. So we have to teach them how important they are. And so our goal is to make sure that you know how important you are to me, to yourself, to your family, to your environment, and to the world. Like, you have to really believe and know that. And so those are some of the things that we do. Let them know the importance of themselves, and then let them to have experiences in different environments.
So how do you go about choosing the different people that may come and speak to them, like go into the school?
It's a good question. Anybody who has a willing heart, as of right now, I feel as you're not going to want to speak to students if you do not have a willing heart or a message to say. There's something in you that drives to say, I want to give back.
Yeah.
People just don't give back. People
People don't really volunteer. You could,
You can throw that in there too. Don't matter.
keep it natural.
But people don't just willingly give back. But when someone says, "I'm willing to give back," that's a special person, and you have to capitalize on that experience. Like the young man I told you, his name is Ryan. I had him up the day.
Hey, Ryan.
Ryan, what's up, man? I had him up the day before, and he came and he dropped jewels, phenomenal. Talked about when he was living in the abandoned building with his parents, when he was 7 years old. Just when he was young, going through that experience, which would have never known. But if he would have stayed in that environment and triggered his mind to think that that's all that he knows, and he would probably still be in that circumstance. But instead, he said, "Nah, this isn't it.
Right.
This isn't all that's out here for me." And so, just anyone who's willing. But a lot of people that comes, I try to. I want them to be entrepreneurs or people who have experience with the youth, or people who just want to give back and just do good.
So how has having a mentor played a...
Oh, yes.
Oh my God.
Great question.
So how has having a mentor shaped your life, your perspective? Did you have a mentor?
I've had plenty of mentors.
And you had that brotherhood, you in a fraternity.
Yeah.
Tell them. I ain't gonna say it because,
Phi Beta Sigma guy.
Hey! But how has that helped you as far as brotherhood and just mentorship?
Well, I've had mentors since I was 10 years old.
In your family or outside?
Outside of my family. And it's so funny that sometimes you think that you'll get everything you need in your immediate family, but it's sometimes the people who's on the outside of your family that make you feel like they are fully your family.
Right.
I've had them since I was 10 years old. They must have seen something in me that I didn't see in myself, and they said, "You know what, you come in."
And sometimes it takes that to give someone that push.
I'm telling you. And they used to have me do silly things like wash the cars, give me $5 here. They used to help their
They
son
just try to keep you active.
Keep me active, and that's the important thing with young people as we're going back to middle schoolers.
Yeah.
Because that's the age that I was. You got to keep us active, keep us out of trouble. And so they would always drop jewels, and I would just sit there and listen. And I'm the type of person, I'm thirsty for knowledge.
Okay.
So I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm coming. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. And not knowing over time, they've known me for about 17 years now. They've been mentoring me for 17 years. And then as I got older, other mentors came into my life. Mentors who helped me with the business. My pastor, Sigma, Persian Rifles, having that brotherhood.
Yeah.
Those brothers became my mentors, where I've listened to them, embodied their lessons, learned from their lessons, said to myself, "Okay, you made this mistake, I ain't making that mistake." You know why? Because I want to be somebody. I want to be able to leave a mark on this world. And so just being willing, and one thing that one of the brothers used to tell me, you gotta have a willing heart. And so I've always had the willing heart to seek out mentors.
Are you open with your students? You tell them your past mistakes, things that you did, so they can see no one's perfect.
Absolutely. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I am a totally different person than I was last year. Well, we all are.
Yeah.
We all are. But I felt like that I made a drastic change in 2013, and I got baptized in 2013.
Oh, congrats!
And that's when my whole life outlook changed. It changed for me. I'm a firm believer in God. I love the Lord, and me knowing that He is on my side, even though the world may not be on my side, has completely changed my whole.
Now you're so positive. Follow you on social media. They gotta follow you.
Yes,
see all of it.
They do. My whole outlook, and so I know the goodness and what He has done for me and what He brought me out of. And so I know that He can do that for others as well.
Now, do you feel like young boys or just males in general are a little more prideful as far as trying to reach out for help and asking for leadership or mentor versus women or young girls?
Well, I don't think men reach out at all. I think men try to
be tough. They feel I don't need nobody.
When we were young, we were taught to stop crying, man up. And there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. There's nothing wrong with crying. There's nothing wrong with having emotions. And I was at the point in time where I was just I have no emotions.
Right.
I don't care how you feel. I don't.
You was heartless?
I was like, I was a nice guy.
You was nice.
I was very nice. I was very nice. I used to hold everybody down. But I wasn't. When I mean with the emotions, like no, it was genuine, but like I wasn't that emotional. Like now I'm very emotional now because I know who I am. I cry in a second and I know that I'm still a man, I'll be able to express my feelings now more, and I know that I'm a man. Before, I would hold things in, and then I'm one of those Sprite bottles where you shake up, you turn the top, everything just explodes. That's who I was before. And now, I'm like, okay, if I have an issue, problem, I'm willing to express that, and that's how you find clarity. But I feel like young men, they don't do that because they're taught from birth that you have to be tough, you gotta be strong, you gotta defend for yourself, you gotta be the provider. But I'm here to tell you that it's okay to, yes, be all of that, but to also be vulnerable, be emotional, express your feelings, talk how you feel to others, and to love. That's the most important thing. We have to be able to love. Women, I feel like with women, if women find the right woman to latch on, then they'll have a great mentorship relationship. And I feel like with women, here's the thing. Women compare, men compete. All right, so that's the two C's that everybody needs to look. Women compare and men compete. So once you break the barrier of comparing yourself to other women and find women who will be able to help you, then you have a great mentorship. The moment men stop competing with each other and find another brother who is willing to hold them down, support them, guide them, give them those jewels, then they'll have a great mentorship relationship.
We gotta chop them seeds up. We gotta help one another.
I'm trying to tell you, we have to. And it's only, we have to make the decision. We have to make the decision, and we just gotta do it.
So, what past projects have the foundation done so far? I know y'all volunteered, y'all was feeding the homeless.
So what we did, the last event that we did was in February, and we went out to New York City. Well, we did it at St. Luke Cathedral Church in Queens, which is actually my church. And how I set it up was we had a whole bunch of tables set up, and everybody at each table were competing to make the fastest sandwiches. Okay. So it wasn't just your average feed the homeless tour. It was like, oh, all right, everybody lined up in an assembly line. It was like, no, let's make this fun. Y'all competing against each other, you competing against each other, and then we had people who were going around and stealing the peanut butter, stealing the jelly, stealing. And so while they're in the middle of making these sandwiches, then they turn around and their jelly's gone. Okay. And so now they gotta figure out, how am I gonna finish making a peanut butter jelly sandwich? So they would probably go to another table, steal it. So it was really fun. We had music, young kids, adults. Like the adults was like, this was one of the most fun events that I've ever been to, and I was actually giving back and helping others. And then we came all the way to the city, and we drove around New York City. New York City. I swear we probably made about close to 700 sandwiches. And we
y'all just giving them out.
And we literally, anyone we saw in the street, giving sandwiches out. Telling people, we don't know what your circumstance or your situation is, but everything is going to be better. Some people took sandwiches and they took it back for the other people at their shelters that they stayed at. And so we just was traveling the city, and we didn't leave the city until it was daylight, and we ended up dropping the rest of the food off at, what's the spot? It's down there. So
in the city?
In the city.
Oh, okay.
It's another spot where we just dropped up stuff, so it was good.
So do you have funding for the foundation, or are you doing it all on your own? Right now,
I am doing it all on my own. As of right now, I will be seeking funding out. So right now it is fully coming out of my pocket, things like that. I'm building a team right now, so the team is coming together. We just had our first meeting actually Friday, which was a non-traditional meeting. I just wanted everybody to meet. I just want this organization to be an organic organization that creates for our young people. Everything brand new. Like, for example, our meetings are not even called meetings. We call them fun meetings. Okay. Because we just want it to be fun. Yeah. We want things to just be fun, organic. We want people to just be able to be creative. And I don't want any, the old way of thinking. I want us to think innovate.
Yeah,
You know,
you gotta
think
get
for
out the
future.
traditional.
You know, get out of that traditional stuff. Look, I don't care if we are going to Central Park and we're going to sit down and have a picnic, and that's how we
We
have our
gonna
meeting.
discuss, yeah.
That's, you know, but it's just being innovative, being creative, and allowing that energy to birth ideas.
So what's some upcoming projects that you have in the works or you would like to do?
So as of right now, we're, like I said, the team is getting together. So we're all coming together to put down ideas. The other project that we're going to do another Feed the Homeless event, but towards when it gets cold again.
Why the cold?
Well, no. Well,
In the
you
fall?
know, in the summertime.
Make sure you let me know though, because I want to do it.
In the summertime.
Okay.
We'll do another one in the summertime, and then do another one in the winter
Okay.
time. So that those are two events that's going to be coming up. Another school asked us to come in to do like their, what is it called?
What is career day? Or they have different
career day,
people
but it's
coming?
like, you know, it's like the kids are going to be doing tons of exercise and different things like that. So I don't want to call it like a career day. I forgot what it is called.
But basically you're going to be going there to
going there
speak.
to doing speaking. They're going to be doing a bunch of different games, activities, things like that. And we're just taking over the whole school. So that's one thing that we're going to be doing. That's supposed to be June 10th. And we just going to keep birthing ideas. You know, we're trying to get more contracts with different after-school programs to keep doing workshops.
Now is that hard? Like as far as like doing workshops in the schools?
Oh yeah.
Like what is the process for that? Do they just like they want to know like what it's about? You have to sit down and interview with them.
So the contract that I have with Urban Strategies, I had to actually sit down with the CEO and explain what it is that I'm doing. I had to actually show him and actually act out one of the workshops in front of him, so he can get a glimpse of what his students are getting. You know, you don't know this person from the home, he was recommended to you, but you want to see what he's working with. You know, you want to see what he or she's working with. So perform, and I had to literally perform.
What did you do?
I had all kinds of crazy stuff. Whatever I had to do to sell the organization, I did that and got a contract with them. And they like what we're doing so far. So hopefully we'll get the other two schools and be able to go there once a month as well.
That's good.
But we just slow process.
Slow process is better than no process.
Exactly. And like I'm excited because the team is coming together. It's about 7 of us, and everyone has wonderful experience. And they bring a lot to the table. And I know when we all get together,
magic. They're about to take over.
Oh gosh, magic. And I already have the board already lined up.
Okay.
They're just waiting for the team to get together, and then we'll have our board meeting and stuff like that. So it's gonna be good.
So what if people, after they see this interview, they be like, oh, I want to read down, I want to get on the board. How would they be able to go about that? And also, as far as volunteering?
Well, they can always email me at mentoryourmind@gmail.com. You can always email me at ashari.james@gmail.com, ashari.james@gmail.com. And just let me know that you're interested in volunteering or that you're interested in helping out with the organization as well.
And one more thing, advice you would give to anyone that's going through obstacles as far as trying to pursue their passion, or maybe if they want to start their own nonprofit organization?
It's a very good question. Okay. So one thing that I would tell you,
Go ahead.
one thing I would tell you is that to have the courage to be yourself. That's the greatest gift that you can give yourself. No matter what you're going through, no matter what's in front of you, no matter who's getting on your nerve, no matter the outcome of the situation, stay true to yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can and that you will make it. If you continue to believe in yourself and see it through, then it's going to happen. But you have to wake up in the morning and tell yourself that I am going to make it. I am going to have a great day. I am going to be somebody. I am going to be powerful. I am special. I love myself. And you have to be able to continue to change your mindset from your current situation to break through to see the better side. So that's what I would tell you.
There you go. Ashari for president. But thank you for sitting down with me.
Absolutely.
Make sure y'all follow him and stay connected.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That was good.
That was good.